Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Welcome to another Make the Most of It Mondays. Mending Mondays. No? Are we mending from our party weekend? Or maybe we had a work weekend, right? Body's mending from the weekend. Hi, it's me, Wingish New Babe, Jackie Clay. Sweetgrass Water, Medicine Woman, you friendly freaky ass medicine woman. Also, Christiana Carr. Superstar. All this beautiful divine being right here, and welcome you beautiful divine beings right here too. Yes, it's been a bit of a trying morning. Emotional days, but realizing those trauma responses, and it's hard to bring your body back down. I've been trying to explain that to the kids too about trauma responses, right? It's kind of like a fine line, I guess, eh? Tell them it's not their fault, so they just continue doing stuff instead of changing the behaviors. And I said we're all responsible to change those cycles, right? What we've learned and stuff like that, right? It's beautiful. You're half your dad, you're half your mom, you're all you, right? So both mom and dad have given you examples of things that hurt more or things that help, right? So you choose that. And they keep choosing the ignoring part, right? And then, well, I don't know about you, but that's one of the hardest things for me. Because like going through school and stuff and bullying, that's one of the things that, it's a subtle abuse, that one, when you're ignored, right? Like treated like less than human, like you don't have emotions, and then when you do show human emotions, then you're like, boo. Then you're like too much or too sensitive, or you're just so extra because you can't maintain anymore. When I think about what I've gone through personally, right, it took a lot to mask my stuff. I relate, totally relate to that spectrum. And the women on the spectrum, what I've heard and what they've gone through, and the diagnosis usually comes in late after they have a child that's diagnosed and whatever. And it's not about labels or anything like that. It's about understanding, right? And whether the trauma caused the change in the brain, or if I was born this way, baby, and that subjected me to more abuse and trauma because it wasn't understood and it's not something that's clear, that's a developmental delay that you see, that because the intelligence is still there. So when you've got that intelligence and you can mask and see how everybody else is acting, and you're studying psychology and why people act, and facial things, right? Practice in the mirror my facial expressions lots to try and look normal. This comes from, I've been hurt about what my kids go through. I mean, I can't say that enough, right? Because I'm trying to be an example for my kids. But what they're seeing is that example of being kind and having your integrity and, giving yourself self-care, having routines and responsibilities and all that. They've been ignoring me. I know they want to listen. They're caught in such confusion, but I don't want them to feel guilty, right? And the example that they see, mom's falling apart. I'm trying to stand up for the truth. I am standing up for the truth. And then what do they see? Just in their own little family system here, the one that's standing up and telling the truth. And they know what the truth is. They know what they live with their mom, and these people telling lies and seeing the lies winning. But isn't that something that happens on the bigger scale in our world too? That's why it all begins within. We need to start in our own little families, our own systems, in our own selves. Let's recognize we are all responsible right? And that's what I've been telling the kids, to recognize the cycles that we're repeating, those hurtful cycles, and change that in ourselves. We are all responsible to break those cycles that are hurting all of us, no exceptions, right? Because you can't break a cycle in somebody else, in their behaviors or whatever. We can only do that in ourselves, right? And then we lead by example. It's not telling others what to do. It's living that way ourselves, right? And hopefully they pick up on it too, or not, right? That's not up to us. Free will, God's will, not our will, right? So today I wanted to get into, I thought maybe we'll just do a MoonLodge inward tree for centering. We do have a full moon coming up, and I know I need that help to kind of get back to my center, right? Find that true self, because, right, these are general meanings, but everybody will get something out of it. And basically, we're all the same at the core, right? Fertile beings co-creating who we are, right? So we all come from the same source, right? So our core is basically the same. We have our different characters and personalities and stuff like that. Our source is love. We're all love and light beings, capable, both good and bad, good and evil, however you want to term it, okay? We're all on a spectrum of some sort, right? The human spectrum, the emotional spectrum, the light spectrum. It's a wingin', it's a wingin', it's a wingin'. We're good. We're good. Woo! All right, call in all your loving supports around you. We tap into the source. Thank you, Creator. In all our directions. Here we got North Shield. We'll tap it into that inner wisdom that's in us all, right? That source within us all, to get our messages clearly. What are our lessons from this? You know, what can we think of today? We can carry this into the week, whenever, whatever. To each their own is for you, right? I mean, okay, I gotta stop shuffling. I'm kind of trying to calm down from the trauma response I was triggered into this morning. It's okay. Well, I mean, I'm in my bed. My body is constantly in a trauma response. And it's getting into the, you know, the fight, flight, or freeze. I used to like freeze or fun, right? Oh, let me show you how much I love you, then you're not going to hurt me. Let me like help you laugh, and you're not going to hurt me or anybody else, right? Fine, hurt me, don't hurt anybody else. You know, I can take it. Oh, I can't. I really can't. I couldn't then either. That's where I was lying. That's where I was being dishonest. But I could take it all. There's that ego, right? We can't take other people's. We're not helping them that way. We can't. You know, don't like to see somebody cry. We want to take away all their pain. We can't. The pain is there to teach us something, right? We learn from this. I know I've learned a whole lot from this. I gotta stop this shuffling, because this is really hurting when I'm just in this. Right? Well, let's call all of our energies back to us. That will help. All right, so we start here. Pull back all of our energies from the east. That's the place of illumination and clarity, the place of fire, place of man. Excuse me. That was really like a dolphin. I just spit. Did you see that? Oh, gosh. Girls, I'm sorry. Well, it's a good thing I didn't do it there. It could have landed right on you. I'm sorry. God, I love you. Thank you. Okay. The east. And the south. That is the place of water and the emotions, the child, the innocence. And it's working already, calling back all those energies. We call back the energies of the west, the woman, the physical, the earth. Place of introspection. When we call back all the energies of the north, our wisdom years. Those are elder years, the air, the mental. And we walk from south, right? Oh, we can scrutinize every detail. Or maybe, hey, we're getting scrutinized every little thing that we do, right? We go up to the north in the wisdom. As we learn our lessons, right? And that's when we make the decisions, okay? Or do we scrutinize everything before we make decisions? We look at everything, or do we chew everything to bit until we can't? I don't know. And then east to west is the blue road of spirit, right? Cleansing. We're cleansed. We come into this life through the waters of our mothers. We exit through waters as well, right? So that's that cleansing, purifying of that spirit, right? So we're born in through the east and exit through the west, the blue road of spirit, always with us and just as the sun. And then exit into the west, and the west shield, right? Introspection and goals. We look into that, and all begins within. Above, below, and within. Thank you, beautiful beings, for that loving energy. It sure does lift me, and I hope it lifts you too. Right, no worries, well wishes, and it works. Hey, there you go. Hey, did you need some validation that that was working, that I could feel it? I can feel it. I can feel it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's what keeps me going. And when I'm feeling like, oh, nobody loves me. I know. No, some of you are there. You're there. And I love you too. And I feel that support. Even if you're not here with me physically, I feel you energetically. And thank you. And I send it back and pay it forward. Okay. MoonLodge, inward tree for centering. Let me just get so I can. It's been a while since I've done this one, so let me get out my book. Oop. I was like, tip everything over. Excuse me, getting a nice shot. My no butt. I lost my butt. It used to be a little bit more there. I'm bloated. Ew, sexy. Weirdo, right? We're swinging. That's how you do it, right? Work for you. Have you tried it? Do you swing too? Huh? You swing too? How do you shift your moods? Eh? Do you? Is it music? Do you need to sit down with some cards? Do you connect? Do you pray? What is it that helps you when you're in a bad way? I know I gotta be writing more like this. Okay, share with us, right? This thing is like full. Like I filled up this little book. Right? Yeah! From last year, squeeze the thing. I gotta keep writing. Keep writing. This was the other course after I passed my child psychology course with honors, and I've got that certificate. What to do? See, that's it's through the ICS. This is just the first unit. And now I'm getting emails. Are you on it? Other things come up. My children, my priorities, right? Taking care of me so I can be there more for my children. That's that priority, right? I always believe the best things we can give our kids, happy, healthy parents. And if they can't have two, at least one will do. And I can only control me. I can't control their father too, right? So it's up to him to heal his demons, whatever that is. Whatever, right? We're all on our own path together. Okay, let me stay here. I'm playing with some, right, all these beautiful crystals. I love. I love. Right, and these two rocks. Well, this one's these kind of have my initials. C. That'd be me. C. Caring. Well, it doesn't start with C. Got on kind. I'll try. Need to be more kind to myself, though. Kind to myself as I am to everybody else. Trying, but then I feel selfish. Then I feel like I'm thinking I'm better than anybody else. And I don't, so I don't. Right? Oh, what a mess! My crazy making fit. That's okay. I got through it. Hey, and a psychiatrist says, I'm not crazy. Right? Crazy love. MoonLodge spread inward tree for centering. Okay, we're going to do the Ace card, and the MoonLodge is known as the Whirling Spirit card. Whirling Spirit card. Unlocking your spiritual nature and clearly seeing your spiritual talents and abilities, right? That's the Whirling Spirit card. And then we go to the South card. This is the card, the New Growth or Seed card. New Growth or Seed card in the South. And in the West is the Dream Within the Dream. Oh my gosh, I hope I amused you at least a little bit as much as I amuse myself. Like, goodness gracious. Right? Weirdo. I love me though. I wouldn't have me any other way. That's the thing. Maybe that's why. Right? I'm gonna be me. I can't be anything else but me. Right? I don't want to be anything else but me. I love me the way Creator made me, and Creator loves me the way Creator made me. And the Wisdom card, right? That's wisdom in that. Creator loves you the way Creator made you do. That source. Whatever you call it for you. Doesn't make no difference. Just wants to be acknowledged. No, it doesn't need to be acknowledged. We acknowledge it because that's the wisdom when we know where we've come from. We give honor to that. We give honor to that. We never take that for granted. We be grateful. And it's like our parents, no matter what. They were vessels. Without our parents, you know, having that agreement, whatever that was, we wouldn't be here. So no matter what's happened, they had the worst parents, best parents, whatever that experience was with them, to be at least grateful that they were the vessels to get you here, you know? Be grateful. They helped you to be here on this earth walk, right? Yeah, whether they're just a sperm donor or they were the womb that you grew in, whatever, however you want to look at it, right? Just starting out with being grateful to our parents for being life here, right? And be grateful to our Father, Creator, Mother Earth, right? These are our spiritual parents, all of our parents, basically. Anyways, we're rambling off again. We're going into the central card, which is the true self. This card indicates the integration point. So integrating all of these medicines, the lessons, medicines from the animals, and we find our true self, right? Seeing this where it's different, could be different for all of us, right? But we can still use these powers to get into our true self for our own unique, right? So making sense? I don't know. Again, I'm swinging. Head's groggy. Nose is all stuffy from the tears and the snot. The true self right there. Okay. Then we'll see top and bottom cards here. Where are we at? 18. Wow, jeez. Didn't I start shuffling at 5? I don't know. Anyways. C'est la vie. Right? Watch it when you get time, you know. If you like. It's up to you. I don't judge you. I don't make you do anything, so it's up to you. Thunder beings, usable energy. We need to work on that. Usable energy. We've all got it, right? And introspection, we need to look inside to find that, right? If we're taking care of ourselves, is that what I was just saying, right? Best thing we can give our kids is happy, healthy parents. Need to do our self-care, be an example of that for our children, to give care to ourselves, because we can't, right? It's like on the plane, put on your own oxygen mask before you go helping anybody else, because how can you help anybody if you're on the floor? If you've extended yourself so far, you've spread yourself so thin, you have nothing left. And then something really happens when they really need you, right? So we help them with all these little trivial things, but then something big comes up, and we've spent all of our energies on all these little things. We can't help with the bigger things. Even thinking about it in that way. Reframe for you, okay? Reframe for you. Let's get down to the truth. Our true self inside, the MoonLodge, known as the Whirling Spirit card, key to unlocking your spiritual nature and clearly seeing your talents, right? That's that death and rebirth. So seeing that we are not these little baby bodies. The little baby bodies die and they're born into the little toddler bodies. The toddler bodies die in the child bodies, and then they die in the adolescent bodies, and then that dies and we're in the teenage bodies, and then that dies and we're in the adult bodies. We're not in the same body, really, because every cell, it's all regenerated every 7 years. So really, this isn't the body that we're born with, but we still have that same brain. That little baby brain is imprinted, right? It stays there, and then everything just grows around it, but that baby brain is in there. So the way to tapping that is to see what we've already gone through and looking at those cycles, right? It's up to us to change those cycles in ourselves, right? And to confront that in ourselves and where we are repeating these cycles, the cycles that need to die so that a new, healthier cycle can be reborn. Right? And going back sometimes, right? Don't fix it if it ain't broken. There's some things, the seasons continue as their way. The trees will grow. So they go through those same cycles, right? They grow, you know, they lose their leaves, the leaves grow back. So there's some cycles that are good and healthy, right? And help build us and make us stronger and create that expansion. But there's some that keep us constricted, right? And it can feel like death, even though we're still living. So confront all that in yourself, anything that needs to be changed. We're all responsible to break those unhealthy cycles in our own selves. We can't change it in somebody else. We can only do it in ourselves. So confront that in yourself, right? That's what the wild boar, the warriors used to go out. You know, they had to be brave and truthful, right? If they weren't truthful, wild boar could sense that. I don't want that wild boar chasing you down, huh? Confront that in you. We just had that fertility down in the south, the innocence, the emotions. This is the new growth card or seed card. Look to this card for possible beginnings, either in personal relationships or how you relate to the environment. In the MoonLodge spread, this card may reveal your true feelings about someone or something. It is the card that will show you your hidden emotions towards a person or thing. So fertility, and in your life. Oh, and in your innocence. What is your feelings towards you, yourself, your innocence inside, that little child inside? What did that child want to be when it grew up? Are you there yet? I mean, I'm still growing up. Still trying to figure out exactly what I want to be when I grow up, right? Writing, it all has to do with helping others and spreading love around. I know that for me. That's my true feelings about it. And I get discouraged when I feel like it's doing the opposite. If I'm hurting somebody, just being myself. Right? That's a hard one for myself. But what is that for you? Look into that innocence. And here we're in the south, in the place of innocence. What are your true feelings about the situation you're going through now? And is there a creative way for you to make a switch in that, right? The new beginnings or growth, that fertility. We plant those seeds. But they don't grow right away. That takes some time. It takes some time. And we don't keep digging up that seed to see where it's at, right? So trust in that innocence, right? That baby just believes that's going to be received, right? As children, we just believe our needs are going to be met. If they're not, that can really mess us up. But look at that in you. What are the seeds that you have planted? And are you being patient with that? How are you feeling about that, right? Because sometimes we're planting seeds and we're turning out, oh, that's not what I wanted, right? Oh, those were the hot peppers. I wanted the tomatoes. Whatever. What is that for you and in your life? And then we go to the West, right? Dream within the dream. I'm a drummer. Yeah, that's my dream. Within a dream. Music and playing. Get in touch with that heartbeat again. Dancing to the beat of my own drum. Yes. Yes. Dream within the dream. It may lead you to your real purpose in life, so study it carefully. Is your dream or vision a product of your superficial ego? Or are you being truly introspective and realizing the goals which your higher self is suggesting? It is here in the West that you impregnate yourself with your real life mission. I hear the dog whining. I'm just not going to pay attention right now because I'm already over time here. So the rhythm, the internal timing, right? It's divine timing, not our timing. But if we listen and we get into the touch of that, then we get into the flow of where our Creator wants us to go, right? It helps to transmute that poisons. Look, it is a 5-6, and here we have a 5-6 right up to that, right? Anyways, so it's getting in touch would that be? With your own divine timing, right? And transmuting those poisons, those seeds, right? If we're getting a lot of shit in that fertilizer, well, we got to till it. Then shit is fertilizer, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing. We can transmute those poisons and help them, right? Sometimes it's with that drum, connecting to that rhythm again, to our own true self, to that dream of what we wanted to be when we grow up. You know, we're recognizing those cycles and confronting those, right? And transmuting those poisons so that it is more medicine, right? And turning that and channeling it into our passions for these dreams to flourish, right? Whatever that is for you, right? Divine timing, not our timing. We can get in touch with that divine timing and get into that flow, right? When things just seem to flow, then you know you're on path and in line with your purpose, right? Because it just flows. If you're fighting it, you're getting up against the wall. Well, what is that? Are we blocking ourselves, or is this not for us? Do we keep knocking on this door that's been shut because, hey, there's a bigger opportunity over here. We need to pick this door, right? But we keep going at this one. So find that out for yourself. That's the introspection, and look at that. What is that? Are you trying to make something happen faster and not letting that process? So it takes time. It takes time to transmute poisons. It takes time for seeds to grow. We can't rush it, right? We're Canadian. No Russian. Love yous. Okay, up in the north is the wisdom. Indicates the inner wisdom you may not have recognized in yourself. The north is the place of wisdom and knowing. Therefore, if you're looking outside for answers, this card gently nudges you into following the animal's lead to find the same vision within yourself. Studying this card with the idea of knowing yourself will break any self-deception you may have. Had to go slower. And we've been watching, kids have been into Phineas and Ferb and Dr. Doofenbaker or whatever. Love his accent. I love accents. Anyways, cycles of movement. That's the inner wisdom that we have in ourselves. We are creating movement. We are changing cycles, whether we recognize it or not. Some we have already changed. So if we can take a look at that, right? Confront what we've already changed too and see, right? Because as we change those cycles, and maybe we've done it without even knowing, because we had tapped into that inner wisdom already. So be aware, right? That's how we get into that co-creating, right? And creating together. Right? Doing it innocently. No, like, I don't know anything. God, I'm leaving it up in your hands, right? If we're going to give up, give it up. Let go and let God. Whatever that is for you. Right? And embracing the unknown. There's a wisdom in that. See, that's a 7 and a 7 when you put those together. 5, 6, 7. If we just take those steps, we will get there and embrace that unknown. That's how we create movements too. If we just stay still, right? Oh, I'm too afraid to move because I don't know what's coming. I have to know what that next step is before I go, right? But if we embrace that unknown, because not everything is meant to be known. Some things are meant to be a mystery, right? Like, what would Christmas be if you knew every present under the Christmas tree? Where would be the excitement in that? Right? So some things, right, are left a mystery. Sometimes it's best just to live the questions. And maybe one day we live into the answers. Who knows? But that's how we create that cycle of movement. If we just stay stuck, we have to move, right? Embrace that unknown. Hey, this might be scary, but I'm going to do it. And it's having that faith that step will be there, right? You watch Indiana Jones when he has to go take that first step out, but it's an invisible path. So you have to trust that that's there, right? And when we're doing that inner work and we're staying true to ourselves and we're following that inner guidance, that step, that ledge is always going to be there. We're not going to be left to fall. And if we do, maybe we needed to learn something from that fall. Maybe how to pick ourselves up. Maybe to see that we did survive even after we fell. Who knows? Everything's for a reason. And here we are into the true self. When we need to retreat into our true self, we need to retreat and connect with that inner source, right? When things are getting too busy and too hectic, it's time to come into that source. And we all have it, no exception. That's the true self. We all have that center inside of us, right? So central card indicates the integration point of all the directional medicines of your personal unconscious. It is the power shield of the true self. This is the card of the circle of knowing, the within, the taproot of personal consciousness. Know the true self, the within, and those without can never deceive you again. Can never again deceive you. Right? So even with all these medicines that we just looked at in all the directions, bringing them in, retreating, and seeing how that works for you, and then tapping into that inner wisdom. That's how we get in touch with that true self. Every single one of us, no exceptions. That's why this works for everybody. It's a personal reading just for you too, right? But what's personal to you, you connect with your source inside, find that inner wisdom, right? Because salmon knows, right? It's born from that river. It knows to go to that ocean. Does it know how it knows? No, it just goes. It just follows that inner knowing. And it knows as it's grown and it needs to go babies and that life cycle needs to continue. It swims upstream. You know, I don't know why I keep going up here. This is so hard, but I just got to go. Right? And then they go up there, up those streams. They lay their baby and their bodies die. It looks like the death crowns, but those old bodies then nourish those new babies being born, right? So it's just following that inner wisdom. And look at how long salmon lives. So if we're just following that, look at how long as human beings have been here too. It's following that inner wisdom, retreating and knowing who we are and standing tall and proud in who we are, who Creator made us to be. Because we're all meant to be here. We're all needed here. And no exceptions, my dears. So, you are who you're made to be. Everything's inside. So tap into that. Find that who you are inside, right? Now, I can't flip the camera around, but we'll try and give you a look this way. Look at all my messies here. Messes. Ouch. Okay, so since that's plugged in, I might, because there's a little hole under here. I used to plug the mic and then you wouldn't be able to hear me. So that's your little reading today. Center in yourself, retreat. Find some time to retreat today. Go into yourself. Right? We did the MoonLodge and retreat. Well, there's the MoonLodge right there in the center. That's how we find our center. We need to retreat within us. Tap into that inner wisdom. Everything we need has been given to us. How to get all those answers, how to tap in, how to connect with Source. It's all there. It's our innate wisdoms. If we're allowed to tap into it. Well, not about allowed, right? Some of us weren't. We got overridden because others wanted to control us. So they want us to listen to them and not our own selves. So, listen to your source inside. We all have that connection, no exceptions, right? Okay. Biggest heart hugs ever. Oh, thank you for being you and shining your light through in everything you do. Because you know what? This world really needs you. Thank you for being here with me today and all that energy you've sent my way. Here's some right back at you. Look at the difference from when I started. See? What a difference. See? Thank you. Thank you. I believe in you, because I do. Oh, wonderful, beautiful beings. Keep shining your light through in everything you do, right? Because the world needs you. Did I say that? Because it can't be said enough. Like, just accept it, okay? You are needed here, and you're very special, my dear. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for shining your light. Thank you for doing what you do like only you can do. Love you.